Hey fly people, it's Sheila and I am back with another video, and this is just to give you all an update on what's been going on with me. So I am going to enclose a little clip of me showing you my hair, front and back. I got a retie a couple of days ago and I'm trying to show it to you now because the way I sweat at night, you know this isn't gonna last long. So usually when I get a retie, which is probably around here, it's been going longer and longer now, from 6 to 8 weeks maybe. She will put it up in a style for me, because if you saw the video that I made where I talked about when I first got my locks done and roots blew all up, and honey, it was a mess. And you know, I try to keep it somewhat contained, especially this first year, because just in talking with people, you know, they say that first year is for many is that transition year where your hair is trying to grow out. I'm, you know, trying to get it to fill out. I already have thin, fine hair to begin with. And then, you know, I have talked about how disrespectful the sides are. And so my hair doesn't grow real fast. So I'm just trying to keep it contained as it does grow out. And I'm looking forward to that point where it's starting to hang real nice. I mean, I like it now, don't get me wrong, I do. Where it's really starting to hang and just kind of fill out, and I can put it in a ponytail or put it in a bun on top of my head. You know, that would be really, really great. So I'm looking forward to that. It hasn't been quite a year. I got, let me see, this is March, April, May, like 3 more months before it's a year. I'm a year in. But I'm looking forward to the process, to the journey, as many people call it, just to see what it's going to look like, you know, in say 2 years' time. And to be able to come back and compare how it looks now. I mean, how it looks now as opposed to how it will look then. So that's that on that. And then I believe I gave you a little bit of an update, just telling you that I was taking a course in voiceover acting, or voice artist, voice actor, however you want to term it. And I did finish the course, and I just want to dig in a little bit deeper about how I got there and what I plan to do in the future. So as many of you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, I am a flight attendant with a major airline, and I've been flying for about 20 years now. And you know, as I get older, I just want to fly less. I want to fly less. I want to be at home more with my husband, who is a musician, and he travels, and that's about to start picking up too. Sometimes, you know, I just want to go hang with him, be at home more. So as I'm getting older, you know, because these trips, I'm gone sometimes, depending on how much I'm working, 3 to 4 days a week, 5 or 6 if I bunch trips together, or if there's some crazy weather disaster, which, as many of you know, that's been occurring quite a lot. So I have been on trips where I've gotten stranded a couple of days. As a matter of fact, some good friends of mine, they got stranded for like 7 days in an ice storm in Oregon. It was crazy. So I'm just looking forward to talking more and flying less. That's kind of like my new tagline. And I was on this site, this Facebook site, for flight attendants who are looking for side hustles, you know, because a lot of flight attendants do other things outside of flying. And at one point when I first started flying, I was doing real estate part-time, but as much as I love doing real estate, I just decided that that was something I just did not want to continue to do part-time. So I no longer practice selling real estate, but this voiceover thing has been something that's been in my head for years. And I happened to look on this site, and there was a submission by a flight attendant. I don't know if she still flies, but she still keeps in contact with a lot of her former colleagues, where she talked about how she got into voice acting and how she just kind of fell into it. And then she ended up going to get some formal training through this company called Voice Coaches. And that's basically what she's doing now. She is, basically a voiceover artist. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no intention of leaving my airline, or, quitting that. I'd have to be making a ton of money in order to do that. But I do like flying, so I want to continue to do that. I just want to do it a little bit less and talk a little bit more. So I took a picture of the submission. I said I'm going to come back to that and look at it and dig kind of deeper into it at a later time, because a lot was going on in 2023, especially towards the latter part of the year, the last couple of quarters, personally, with losing friends, tragic events happening within my family. People are still dealing with the physical and mental side of those things, and just trying to weather those, life's storms. So in the midst of this, I go back and I look at this submission. Now, let me say this first. I've always thought about doing, like I said before, I've always thought about doing voiceovers for years. It was never like a lifelong dream, but it was something that I've always been interested in. You know how you say, oh man, I would love to do that. Like people tell me all the time, I always thought it would be nice to be a flight attendant. I would love to do that. And then, you move on and your life goes on or whatever. And that's kind of how I was with voice acting, voiceovers. And I had started thinking about this before the advent of the internet. That's just how far back it went. And people were making their actual demos on cassette tapes and then eventually CD-ROMs. So there wasn't, you had to do, I don't even know how to research that. A lot of it, I think, was probably word of mouth, trying to maybe deal with the agency or find out people who knew people who could, kind of guide you through the process of learning how to get into that area. And it wasn't like there was Google and YouTube or social media where you can type in, how do you go about being a voiceover artist? And even then, it wasn't something that was at top of mind where, I would just do a search, when the internet became more popular, to figure that out. It wasn't until years later that I, just kind of did some searches on YouTube, started following a couple people, and just kind of watching their videos off and on, just to kind of get a feel for what it took to get into this genre, into this space. But it was something about that submission on Facebook when I saw it and took that picture and went back to read it, because I think, after the pandemic and going through an insurrection and all of the things that this country has been through in the last several years, a lot of us kind of look at life differently now. And I think a lot of people have the mindset that you gotta, you cannot take time for granted. You gotta strike while the iron is hot. If there's something that you want to do, you should go for it. You should do it, because tomorrow's not promised. And I mean, people have always known that in their subconscious, but I think after the pandemic, it brought it more to the forefront. And I just felt like when she put that submission out there, and I happened to see it, because I was just kind of scrolling through Facebook. I wasn't looking for that in particular. I just felt like that was a sign. So when I had a chance to go back and really read it and talk about, it talked about where she went to get guidance and coaching. And so I went on the website, voicecoaches.com, and I, kind of looked at some reviews. I signed up for this class where, they have a certain percentage off. That's how they pull you in. Well, they pulled me in, they got me. And I attended this Zoom class where one of the co-founders, he talked about the voice artist, the voice actor genre, how they started the company, a lot of the accounts that they've had over the years, who, different companies that they work with, major companies and, corporations and film and television. And so they even had us record a little script, and he gave you kind of like spot on critique of the script that you read. And then he said, what we'll do is we'll have someone from our office call tomorrow, one of our coaches, who will give you some a little bit more in-depth critique of your script reading. And so that's what happened. So I got the call the next day, and we talked it through, and how they pull you in with that too. Well, if you decide you want to sign up for this course, we'll give you, this amount off, and it'll cost you this amount for the entire course. And I said, okay, I want to do it. And I have done my spontaneous things over the years in my life, but most things, especially when it involves that, and where there's, a price tag that's not pennies. I mean, this is something that I think over, and I turn it over in my head, and, this, that, and the other. I didn't do that. I just went for it. And my whole thing was, even if I'm not successful at it, which I have every intention of being successful at it, this is something that I wanted to do. And I feel good about it. And you know what? I'm going to do it. So the course, and I will link the website hyperlink in the description box, along with my personal website that's attached to the Voice Coaches website, so that you can hear my demo. I hope you will listen to it and let me know what you think about it. But the course itself, the first class, so to speak, was like an analysis. They had you go through, a bunch of scripts and readings that you did, just to kind of get a feel for your voice, and then the coach kind of analyzed it. And at that point, they would either say, well, I think you have a good voice for this, that, and the other, or this might not be for you. And so we went through that, and seems like I have a good voice for narration, for public service announcements, which I do all the time in my job, maybe some commercial stuff, And so I decided to go on, because at that point I could have said, yeah, okay, well, and then been done with it, and not, having to pay for the course or anything. So then I had 3 one-on-one sessions with another coach who was my coach throughout the rest of the course. And also what comes with the course is you have those sessions, the coaching sessions. You have access to all of their scripts, in various genres, animation, technical reading, biographical readings, commercial advertisements, even down to voicemail messaging. So you have a ton of scripts that you have access to. They also have a radio station that goes back for years, where they have interviewed different voice actors who talk about how they got into it, talk about what types of equipment they use, how they built their home studios, how they went about getting different jobs, just talk about the industry itself. And you also, they also coach you through your demo. So the last one-on-one session, my coach coached me through my demo. We picked 7 scripts. She said, don't read them too much, just study them a little bit. And then they schedule demo time for you at a recording studio. And so I went in and, I had gone over the scripts a little bit, and she gave me direction throughout the reading of the scripts. Because what they do is they take snippets from those readings, and then they produce a professional demo for you that they add music to, that they fully edit, and all of that. And in looking at YouTube videos and TikTok videos and reading, just doing a lot of reading, where other voiceover artists talk about their journey and what they had to do to get where they are, a lot of them have said that what I paid for this course basically would cover the professional demo. And so I felt like was another sign that this was a good route for me to go. I'm sure I probably could have found some coaching cheaper, or found a full course cheaper, but I was really happy with the way this whole thing went. So now I have a professionally produced demo, and I have a website that I built on their site that I can use to send out. However, my plan is to build my own website. I'm trying to be very methodical about this because, for instance, you guys out there that have a YouTube channel, and you're looking at all these people, and you're trying to get all these ideas, and you're trying to figure out which your niche is going to be, and it can be information overwhelming, and that's what I'm trying to keep that at a minimum. So I'm taking a lot of notes. I'm kind of making a plan. I'm going to do a website. I'm going to work on a personal statement, and I'm going to start e-marketing, and then reaching out to individuals who I think might be able to guide me to individuals who could possibly hire me as a voiceover artist. And I'm just looking forward to the whole process, journey, and experience. That's, I think, it in a nutshell. That's what's been going on with me. The next time I come back to you, it will be maybe to show you the kind of materials that I'm working with to set up a home studio. I am working on all these things little by little, so I will keep you updated and let you know. Also, I will also keep you updated on my hair and how it's doing. We are definitely moving into lifestyle and beauty on this channel, and just a little bit, about the hair. But anyway, I thank you so much for rocking with me. As always, I appreciate your support. I want to shout out to some content creator YouTube friends of mine, Trish the Natural. Hopefully we will get that live together this spring. I know that you have I have to take a look at your video for the new Beyonce hairline. I'm sure Natural Ray Ray and Shirley Ann if they haven't already posted theirs, they will be, and I'll be taking a look at those. Two of my other friends, I want to shout out to you, because they always, tune in and leave wonderful comments. I thank you all, love you all. Please be safe out there. This world is so crazy. Please continue to love on your family and your friends, and I will see you in the next upload.